a superstar in his own right, known as 2 Chainz, also Tahid Epps, also Titty Boy with us from my old stomping grounds, College Park, Georgia, now one of the most famous rap stars in the world. You know, 2 Chainz, first of all, thank you for being with us. You're a star. So many people, so many teens, so many young adults look up to you. Can I ask you, when you hear about cases like this, why do you still support the legalization of marijuana? Because, you know, I know your persona is different from your rap persona. I know, for instance, you graduated with a 4.0, that you got a scholarship. That's 2 Chainz. Happy birthday, Def Jam Records. Why do all the guys have on regular clothes and the women have on skin-tight leopard suits? You know, I don't know the answer to that. But why do you advocate legalization of pot when you hear stories like what I'm talking about?
Well, from the stories that I just heard you talk about, they had alcohol included, which we all know, you know, cause you to black out, forget things, and have memory loss. They also dealt with irresponsible people. I don't think that you could put an umbrella on the whole community off these few incidents that you just named.
Well,
So
what community is that? The potheads?
The smokers, the stoners community. I just feel like you can't use these particular stories to
so
define everybody that has recreational use.
I'm not defining everybody, okay? So don't throw me in that pot and stew me. What I'm saying is legalizing pot ends up in stories like this. And you, with so many people looking up to you, advocate legalization of pot. And I don't get it. I mean, I've seen video of you smoking a big fat doobie. I mean, I've read your lyrics. I know what you say in your songs. But when you hear stories like the mom and the dad on the front porch, the baby dies in a fire, then my next story, everybody, that's 2 Chainz Twitter account. That's him smoking pot. And while I have you, why the 2 Chainz? Just curious.
2 Chainz was obviously my second time, you know, coming around as far as a rapper. My first name was Titty Boy, but the name came from an internal thing with my mom, me being an only child, me being a spoiled brat, me being breastfed, so the whole family called me Titty Boy. But then when it was time for me to really go out here and make a name for myself, I figured like 2 Chainz could obviously mean this would be my second chance, and then 1 chain being who I am and another chain basically being what I thrive to be. So it has a little deeper meaning.
You know, in one of your lyrics, you say, I don't fear death or dying. I only fear not trying. And some of your lyrics are so incredible, but then other of your lyrics advocates a different kind of lifestyle, that I don't think you would want little children exposed to. I mean, do you have children?
I have 2 beautiful little girls, and I'm a great father. I just feel like, you know, everybody should basically take care of their own. You have kids, too, as well, right? So it's about governing your own household. It's about taking care of your own property. It's about having some kind of structure in anything, any drug.
I hear you, 2 Chainz. I hear you. But what I'm saying to you is this. People listen to you. And while you may be able to get high and your children are kept away from that and they're not growing up like that, is my guess, is my hope, other people don't have the advantages that you have. Okay, Liz, show me the video of Jessica Gamble out of Ohio. This mom, look at this 2 Chainz, this mom making her 2-year-old child smoke pot. Watch this. I want you to watch it. Look at this baby.
That's what I was telling you earlier about trying to classify her as something that we would all do once we would smoke a joint. I feel like she was irresponsible. I feel like she was a bonehead. That was an imbecile move. Anybody that loves their kid definitely knows not to put them in harm's way, and that's what she did. So I don't agree with that at all. I mean, she may have mental issues. It may be something deeper than a joint, I believe.
Well, you know what? There is something deeper than a joint, and that's well put. Because what she's doing is child abuse. And what I'm trying to say to you is that if this is legalized, then everybody is going to have unlimited access to pot. And unlike other people that are responsible, irresponsible child abusers are going to have free
I'm
access.
not sure if you know, but everybody has the ability to get their hands on pot right now, whether it's legal or not. I just feel like if you legalize this particular drug, it could cut out certain things in the criminal justice system, as far as the overcrowding of prisons, as far as putting this on our criminal record to prevent us from getting loans, prevent us from getting homes. Just the whole thing around recreational weed is not making any sense to me.
If you want to qualify for a home, then why don't you just not smoke pot? Why don't you just not get arrested?
We're in a deficit right now. We got to try to find ways on getting out. So I figure if we got half of the states legalizing pot, if the rest of the community legalizes pot, that frees up taxpayers' money. That allows us to do something with this extra funds as far as fixing everything from
I don't know what you're saying about
to a stadium.
freeing up taxpayers' money. What do you mean free up taxpayers' money? Well, what is that?
For me, I'm a taxpayer, okay? And I have one example. For me, I'm a taxpayer. My bus get pulled over, and they say they smell weed like they do all the time, okay? They find a grinder on my bus that has 0.01 of residue inside of it. Okay, they lock me up, they strip me, and then they find out I'm a rapper, and they want to know how fine is Nicki Minaj. They want to take pictures, and they want to let me go. They obviously charge me with 0.01. I go to court, I go to trial, and then they say, do you pack your own bags? Is this your grinder? I tell them no. Well, who pack your bags? They find out my security does it. They drop my case, and then they pick it up on my security, who obviously beats the case. If that's not a waste of taxpayers' time and money, I don't know what it is.
All right. I'm not disagreeing with you that was a big, big to-do about finding one joint. But what I'm talking to you about, okay, fine. It wasn't even a joint. The point is still the same.
Wasn't even a joint. Complete waste of my money and time.
What I'm talking to you about is something different. Now, I know you don't want to see this because it's not fitting with your argument, all right? And what you're saying is not fitting with my argument, all right? Liz, show him. Let's go with Crystal Weber. A mom and her friends giving the 2-year-old daughter pot and letting the kid smoke pot. Okay, everybody is not responsible, 2 Chainz. Everybody shouldn't have free access to go get pot like you get orange juice at the grocery store, like you order it up like a pizza. Look at this child.
I don't even give my daughter a drink, caffeine, at 2 years old, because I feel like it may be too strong for them. So, I mean, that's just something that you have to govern in your own household. Everyone knows that this is obviously wrong.
You're looking at the camera. Look at the monitor. Do you see that child?
Now, this kid may need marijuana when he's about 16 because he may, have some other things going on. But obviously, 2 years old.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Now, let's just talk about you for a minute.
You know what I'm
talking about. You went to college. You went to college on a sports scholarship, did you not?
Yes, and I'm very intelligent, and smoking pot for me.
Can I get back to you in high school when you were 16 and you were on a basketball scholarship, as I recall?
Yeah.
Were you using pot then?
I was selling pot then.
You were an athlete.
Yeah, I was selling pot then.
And would you want your children to do that?
Nah, but it was a means for me.
And why is that?
It was a way of living. It was a way of living for me.
Why don't you want your children to do it, man?
Because I did it for them. I sacrificed that so they won't have to do that.
Brad Lamb, when you hear someone as renowned, as famous, as successful as 2 Chainz say he did it, but he doesn't want his daughters to do it, what does that say to you, Lamb?
You know I didn't say that.
Well, with a do as I say, not as I...
I didn't
let
say
him
I don't want my daughters to
That's
do
totally
it at
what
2
you're
years
saying.
old. I didn't say I didn't want my daughters to do it at 2 years old. Who knows what they might need for therapeutic reasons? Who knows what might happen 10, 20 years from now? But I'm speaking for myself now and governing your own household. You keep showing this tape of this 2-year-old, this same tape, but I'm sure we can find footage of someone giving their child alcohol, way more footage than this little one tape you got of this kid right here.
Okay, hold. So,
now you want to pipe me down.
No, I want you to use your brain for a minute, and let me ask you this. Are you telling me, 2 Chainz, that my only 2 choices are to get my child high on pot or get it drunk on booze? How about neither one? How about it not be legal for recreational use?
I didn't say that.
So, no, you said you're showing video of a kid getting high on pot.
That's kind of what you're using, Nancy. I can't help. That's all really you got. You're using this one example, and I'm trying to tell you that you just Googled that footage. Google someone giving their child alcohol, and I bet it'd be hundreds of pages to go through. So that's just my point.
And just to support that.
And your point also is, okay, it's bad to give a kid pot. And P.S., we've shown you multiple videos. Wipe those lenses off, and you can see many children getting abused. But you're saying, okay, I'm showing you a kid using pot, being forced pot. Then there are other people giving alcohol. How about neither one? Is that not an alternative to Chainz? Why can't you not give
Nancy,
a kid anything?
My point is, alcohol is legal, and it's still wrong. You're trying to flip and twist what I'm saying. You know exactly what I'm saying. You know where I'm coming from.
You don't even give your children caffeine. I don't either. They have never been given a Coke, a Pepsi, a Sprite, anything.
Ever. Mine neither. Ever.
So why does a man like you, who won't even let his daughters have a Coca-Cola or a Pepsi, and you're advocating the legalization of marijuana? It doesn't fit together. So if you're saying that it's okay to legalize marijuana, then why not legalize heroin?
I mean, I just feel like the drug and the recreational use, and we are talking about marijuana, something that is natural and does have medicinal purposes, even though we're talking about the recreational purposes. I don't see anything good coming out of extensive use of heroin, Molly, cocaine, and other drugs, even tobacco with cigarettes. I'm against all of it, to be honest. But with marijuana,
Whoa, did I just hear you? Whoa, stop, freeze. Did you just say you're against all of it? Because I'm pretty sure that's what you just said.
Yeah.
Then why are you supporting the legalization of pot?
I was about to tell you till you rudely disrupted me.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
You're forgiven. I said that legalizing pot, for me, and my personal use, me speaking for me personally, like you keep using this one event with the 2-year-old, for me, it helps with anxiety. It helps with being someone that has shows in front of 50, 60,000 people who have to do meet and greets and be friendly and cordial to thousands of fans. It helps with relaxation. It helps with appetite. It helps with nausea when you're on a flight from here to Africa 16 hours straight. It helps with rest. It helps with sleep. So for certain people, it has its positive effects for that. And so that's where I'm coming from. I can't say that heroin makes you, I'm not sure what it does, but I can't say and speak for a drug that as we all know, is very detrimental to someone. We've never had one case ever in the world documented of someone ODing or overdosing on the use of marijuana. And I'm looking at you now, and you do something. Yeah, you do something yourself. You sneaking and geeking yourself. I'm looking at you, and you're trying to act like you didn't have a little shot before you came on here or do something. See what it is? It's a lot of functional addicts.
You make a joke out of it.
It's a lot of functional addicts out here. I was trying to be respectful. And it's a lot of functional addicts. See, you can smell that marijuana, so you know it's on our clothes. We can't smell when you're around here sneaking and geeking.
What 2 Chainz is doing is articulating the voice of millions. And 2 Chainz, on behalf of Normal, thank you very much.
Thanks, Norm.
In the states around Colorado.
Graduated 4.0 after getting a scholarship in basketball. And this is some of his work. It may not be everybody's cup of tea, but the man is a star. And while he is legal, he wants legalization of marijuana, but he would not expose his children. That's 2 Chainz on Jessie J's song Burning Up with 2 Chainz from Republic Records. Okay, you keep saying I'm showing one video, but I want you to look at this. This is a guy named Melvin Blevins. Let's see the video, Liz, please, where he goes and he pawns his camcorder. And let me show you. Look. Look. This is what they find on his camcorder. Check it out. That's him forcing his 2-year-old to smoke pot.
Well, I got something for you.
So it's not just one.
I got something for you. I got something for you, Nancy. Let me tell you now.
I'm ready.
I'm from the urban community. I'm from the inner city, and pawn shops are associated with a drug known as crack. Most of the time when people pawn things, it's not to buy a sack of marijuana. It's to feed a high that's much more strenuous than a strain of weed. So I feel like that person was probably had a problem deeper than weed.
Okay.
And that's a problem there, but maybe they was high on crack when they was doing that footage right there.
Well, I know this. They were high on weed. I know that.
I know
and when
crack
they
too.
searched the man's home, they didn't find crack. They didn't find heroin.
Because he couldn't afford it. He'd been pawning it.
Okay. Do you have a shred, a hair of evidence that says that man who was pled guilty on these charges had a crack problem? No. Yeah. You're just like pulling that out of the air because you know somebody that pawned something to get crack. All right, you get a five. Do you say
that he has a weed problem?
Yes. Yes, he did.
Did you see him smoking weed? Let's go to you know you good. Did you see him smoking weed on that? Let's pull the footage back up. Call him up, man.
Go right ahead, my man. Let's roll the video.
Who was actually shooting this? Let's go to court. Who was actually holding the camera?
That I don't know, but I see him forcing his baby to smoke pot.
Are you sure it's him forcing the baby?
Yes.
You know it's not a babysitter? Maybe it's a babysitter. Maybe it's an uncle. Maybe it's a brother.
I see his hand. And what you're doing right now, you're running all around me to try. It's too late. He's already pled guilty. Reasonable doubt is over in this case.
I would have took it to trial, but, I would have took it to trial. But personally, I feel bad for him and the kid.
Pot. There he is, and there he is giving the kid pot. So my point to you is, you say that there are reasonable people that can smoke pot, use pot, and they won't involve their children. Nobody else is going to get hurt. But what about these people? That's what makes me keep arguing about this, 2 Chainz. People like this guy, Melvin Blevins.
It's the same thing we talked about earlier, darling, with the legalization of alcohol. You will find some footage like this, but everybody is not doing this. Everybody won't be. Some people actually love their child. Some people know that this is obviously wrong. So this is nothing to really argue about. These people are imbeciles. Okay. You can't use this case to define the whole community.
I got a problem. As successful as you are, as rich as you are, as famous as you are, with this. Smoking California weed with California whores. Excuse me. True. I left that one out. Smoking California weed with California hoes. True. My weed's so loud, everybody listen. I'm so high like an addict. Good weed, bad bitch. All right, you know what? I bet if somebody taught about your girls like this, you'd jerk a knot in their neck.
Yeah, but what we talking about, recreational use of marijuana? What we talking about, Nancy?
What I'm saying is your lyrics. Your lyrics.
My lyrics pay the bills. Love is real life. So you want me to talk about
pot?
What you want me to talk about? Drinking and driving? What you want me to talk about?
Legalization of marijuana. Legalization of marijuana. I'll get you on coffee later. All right?
We'll have a cup later.
Yeah, you know what?
French
Decaf
vanilla.
for you. Decaf. A mother and friends giving a 2-year-old daughter pot. I'm talking about Crystal Weber out of Wisconsin. Now, with me is Norm Kent and Brad Lamb. Also with me, 2 Chainz, renowned rapper. Okay, you keep saying that you're seeing the same kid. Take a look at this screen. Look at that. I've shown you, I don't know how many children the parents are giving pot, 2 Chainz. And I mean, at some point, my stars, man, you graduated with a 4.0.
They're doing this.
You're a millionaire. You're successful. You're at the top. At some point, you got to look in the mirror and say, this is wrong.
No, I admit that it's wrong, but it's wrong if it was legal, if it was illegal. Giving your kid drugs is just wrong. We know that. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to graduate from school. You don't have to be a successful artist or entertainer to know that giving any child, not just your child, drugs is wrong, Nancy. You know that. I'm not going to argue with that.
That's why I'm saying, why would you even argue that it's legal? And
I argue that it should be legal because we need some kind of revenue boost. I argue that it should be legal.
Your kids are going to be so confused growing up hearing you say the kind of lyrics, the kind of raps that you do, and the way that you make this lifestyle look really, really amazing. Your kids, I bet, are going to be so confused. I doubt they'd be confused. I expose my kids to a lot of things. They don't have to listen to my music, but my kids are in a great place right now, and I don't feel like they'll be confused. Do as I say, not as I do.
I honestly feel like with the relationship that I have with my kids, it's better than a relationship that I can even say, I don't know what you have going on in your life, and you need to stop trying to critique mine, but what's going on in my life is that I have a perfect relationship with my daughters. I will always be there for them, not just for drug use, for other things that they need to go moving forward in this day's society.